talk to the police about the sexual assaults that have occurred near campus.
A San Luis Obispo police officer is being investigated by the FBI.
And a new texting and driving law is now in effect.
Cal Poly's campus, you're watching Cptv.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Kelly McDonald.
And I'm Julianne Roth. Welcome to Cptv. Multiple cases of sexual assault have recently been reported in the area. Based on the details of the attacks, police believe that the panty snatcher may be back in town. Cptv reporter Ariel Plavnik has the latest.
On the hunt for a suspect who attempted to steal 2 women's underwear on the 1200 block of Foothill late Saturday night. They believe the same man pulled another woman into a bush on Foothill and forced his hand down her pants early Sunday morning. However, this isn't the first time police have dealt with a situation like this.
They're also comparing these sexual assaults with the ones we had last year that were similar in nature, to see if there's any crossover or the possibility of it being the same person because they occurred around the same time frame.
The so-called panty snatcher, who committed similar offenses in early 2012, has yet to be found. Whether it is the same man or not, the University Police Department wants students to take caution when going out late at night. They provide a few tips that will help students avoid dangerous situations. Be aware of your surroundings, use the escort van, and have your car keys ready before you get to your car. In response to this weekend's attacks, SAFER is putting a strong emphasis on bystander intervention.
We really focus on community response, and that as a community member, you can prevent sexual violence or you can help somebody out by stepping in when you see violence occurring.
A way to participate in bystander intervention is to call 911 if you see anything suspicious. UPD has set up an alternative system to report suspicious activity.
The Tip Now system by Cal Poly Tip Now. You can send anonymous tips if you don't want to be associated with the reporting, but we'll still get the information.
If Cal Poly students have experienced sexual assault, they are encouraged to utilize sexual assault awareness resources such as SAFER and the SARP Center. Ariel Plavnik, Cptv.
If you do go out this weekend, be sure to take UPD's tips into consideration.
A San Luis Obispo police officer faces accusations of taking drugs and making cash in a bribery scheme. Cptv reporter Olivia DeGennaro tells you why he isn't behind bars.
You know, you have to earn the respect of the public and earn that trust. And something like this, of course, goes a long way to destroy that trust.
Police officer Corey Pierce is accused of stealing, selling, and using drugs while working on a sheriff's narcotic task force. He is charged with 1 count of bribery in a criminal complaint filed on Monday. Investigators say he took cash and narcotics from 2 individuals, and he also gave them drugs. FBI agents arrested him on Tuesday morning, but he wasn't in custody for long. Pierce posted his $25,000 bail on Wednesday. Investigators are looking into how long this criminal activity has been going on. And with the investigation underway, police are focusing on how to regain the trust they've lost within the community.
They can be sure that we are doing everything we can to ensure that we do keep our officers honest.
And the recent arrest has called honesty into question. Police officers in San Luis Obispo are not required to take drug tests.
It's never been the policy here to actually have a drug testing policy.
In response to this week's events, though, members of the same narcotics task force are voluntarily taking drug tests to try to restore the community's trust in them.
To avoid this catch-all comment that all cops are crooked, and they're saying, we're not. This is an aberration. It was one person.
According to the sheriff, all of them passed those drug tests proudly. Olivia DeGennaro, Cptv.
Pierce's arraignment date is set for March 13th.
There have been 3 flu-related deaths in San Luis Obispo in the past 2 weeks. All 3 victims tested positive for the flu before they died. Their ages ranged from 38 to 90 years old. Their deaths are called influenza-related because the flu was likely a contributing factor to a pre-existing medical condition. The San Luis Obispo Health Department says up to 20,000 people in the U.S. are hospitalized for the flu each year. And of those people, up to 49,000 die from complications.
The winner of this year's Rose Float Concept Contest can choose their prize of either 2 Rose Bowl tickets or $500. Cal Poly Rose Float is holding a concept contest to determine what their rose float would look like under the theme Dreams Come True. Concept ideas must be on an 11 by 7 inches or fewer size paper, and it can be in color or black and white. Anyone can submit concept ideas to the Rose Float office, the Epicenter in the UU, or the Office of Student Life at the Pomona campus. The deadline to submit is today at 5 p.m.
This week is San Luis Obispo's Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Week. Cal Poly's Hopeful Hearts Club will be having some events throughout the week to raise awareness for the disease. T-Berry is hosting a fundraiser for the cause. 20% of the proceeds will be donated to helping children with the defect, and customers must mention the Hopeful Hearts fundraiser when they check out in order to participate. The fundraiser will last until February 14th. Nearly 1 in every 100 babies are born with a congenital heart defect.
Students voted in favor of quarters at Wednesday's student advisory vote. About 43% of the student body voted through their Cal Poly portal. Over 89% of students voted in favors of quarters. About 9% voted for semesters, and 1.5% said they were undecided. The ASI Board of Directors will give an official statement to President Armstrong representing the student opinion. Cptv reporter Christina Favuzzi is live in the UU with ASI President Katie Morrow.
Christina, what can you tell us about the possible switch from quarters to semesters?
Thanks, Kelly and Julianne. I'm here in the UU with ASI President Katie Morrow. Now, Katie, the Semester Review Task Force and now this advisory vote both voted for quarters. So now we know that President Armstrong is meeting with Chancellor White on Wednesday. What do you think that conversation will be like?
Well, from what I understand, he's really going to focus on just showing the Chancellor what Cal Poly is all about. So the semesters, quarters, conversation will happen after that. But he really just wants to show the Chancellor what it is that makes Cal Poly special. And I think our voter turnout is one of those things. The fact that so many thousands of students came out and voted is something really important that he will want to share with the Chancellor.
So this conversation isn't only about semesters and quarters, but also about Cal Poly and what we're doing here?
Correct. I'm sure he'll talk about Learn by Doing, all of our amazing students, and everything that makes Cal Poly what it is.
Do you know when we might have a final decision on this possible switch?
You know, it's a complicated process because we don't have a deadline to make this decision. So there's not a final point or a final say that might happen that we know of at this point. So it's a little bit up in the air right now.
And if we were to make the switch, how far in the future might that be?
Well, it's definitely not a process that we would want to rush. I don't have an exact year that we would be able to do the switch by, but I know that no matter what, we're not going to do it until we're fully able to do all of our curriculum and all of our IT changes so that it doesn't affect the students in a really abrupt way.
All right, thank you, Katie. So Cal Poly students, you don't have to worry right now about the switch, but stay tuned to CPTV for the latest on the semester quarters debate. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Christina. Anyways, like Christina and Katie said, President Armstrong will meet with Chancellor White next week to talk about what he thinks is best for Cal Poly.
Stay tuned for the latest on quarters versus semesters debate. If you are interested in running for ASI President or Board of Directors for the next school year, now is the time to apply. Candidate filing is taking place until March 1st. You can pick up packets at asi.calpoly.edu or stop by the ASI Business Office in room 212 in the UU. There will be information sessions held on February 21st at 11 a.m. in the Rec Center training room and on February 25th at 5 p.m. in the UU room 220.
The Craft Center is now hiring. They are looking to hire instructors for bike repair, ceramics, flame working, jewelry casting, stained glass, and much more. Cal Poly students can fill out an online application through Mustang Jobs or ASI Jobs. Along with the online application, students need to submit a resume and cover letter as well. The application is due by February 15th.
The San Luis Obispo City Council will hold a special election to fill an open seat. The council had an open seat after Councilman Andrew Carter resigned to go to Guadalupe. His current term is not set to end until 2014. The special election will cost the city at least $65,000, but Vice Mayor Kathy Smith says that this is the price of democracy. Voters can cast their decision via mail-in ballot. The next City Council meeting is Tuesday at 6 p.m.
San Luis Obispo is getting a new social ambassador. The city is looking for a local to represent the happiest place in America. Their job will be promoting SLO through social media by tweeting live from events, maintaining social media pages, and sharing everything there is to know about SLO. The new ambassador will be responsible for creating their own social media community and sharing the city with as many people as possible.
If I were to win the SLO Ambassador contest, I would show what makes the heart of San Luis Obispo tick for the people who live here.
You can still apply until the contest ends on February 18th. The application and contest rules can be found on their website at shareslo.com.
Coming up next on Cptv, a line dancing fundraiser is taking place tonight.
Cal Poly is celebrating Black History Month with some slam poetry.
And Cal Poly students were able to donate blood this week. Welcome back to Cptv. If you have a cell phone, it is likely that you have received a call or a text while driving. Cptv reporter Armando Garcia spoke to a mother whose son was killed by a distracted driver.
There is a bike chain to this signpost east of Santa Maria. Although it looks abandoned, Eileen placed it there in memory of her son Eric when he was killed by a distracted driver in 2009.
He was riding his bicycle on a straight road in broad daylight, and a girl struck him from behind, and he was thrown 140 feet to a violent death, and the girl said she just didn't see him.
And although the story is tragic, distracted drivers in the U.S. killed over 3,300 people in 2011.
Every week I give tickets out for driving while, most of the time it's not texting, a lot of times it's for talking on your cell phone.
California recently legalized voice-operated texting while driving. The law went into effect in January. Eileen has advocated against the law, saying the lawmakers should consider that hands-free texting still takes eyes off the road.
They make the rules of the road. It's really their responsibility to know what they're doing and to pay attention to the research.
If I had been driving, my eyes would have been off the road for 5 seconds while texting this one-line message. That's the length of this football field if I was driving at 55 miles per hour. And while many new mobile devices provide hands-free texting, the lives taken by distracted drivers can never be brought back. Armando Garcia, Cptv.
The Eric Acker-Blom Foundation is putting on a run in Eric's honor April 21st. Eileen invites the whole community to join and bring attention to the dangers of distracted driving.
People were able to donate blood at Santa Lucia, Trinity, and Mott Gym this week. Each on-campus hall representative assists and coordinates with United Blood Services during fall, winter, and spring quarters. The blood drives are open to the public, although a person must fit the weight requirements to donate. Mostly Cal Poly students donate blood to these regularly held blood drives because it's conveniently on campus. In 2011 and 2012, United Blood Services received almost 1,400 pints of blood from Cal Poly alone.
This is my first time giving blood. It's always, it's been something I've always wanted to do, but ever since I was little, I've been like really scared of needles. But I just decided that by not coming in and giving blood, I was being selfish. So I'm getting over it, and hopefully it goes well and I can help save someone's life.
For the rest of winter quarter, the blood drive will take place at Sierra Vista on February 12th and February 13th, and at PCV on February 19th, 20th, and 21st.
The first annual Dance for Kids Who Can't fundraiser will take place tonight. The line dancing fundraiser is being put on by the Cure student organization at Cal Poly. The funds raised tonight will sponsor 4 different children's surgeries around the world.
Kids, not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, just restore their life back to normal.
Admission is $5 and all the proceeds go to the surgeries. There will also be an opportunity to write the kids' Get Well cards at the event. The fundraiser will be in Schumacher Auditorium from 7 to 11 p.m.
It's Black History Month, and the Cal Poly Multicultural Center is hosting a series of events to celebrate. This Wednesday, they put on another type of groove. The free event, commonly known as ATOG, is held the first Wednesday of every month in Schumacher Auditorium. ATOG has an open mic portion for students and community members to perform, followed by a well-known featured poet. In honor of Black History Month, the featured poet Wednesday was Andrew Tyree.
I do during Black History Month is Black History. which is awesome. So, you know, like, some people get offended and they're like, oh, they brought me out this Black History Month and they want me to be like, I don't do any like pro-Black poems because I think all my poems are pro-Black because I'm Black and I'm here and I'm doing it. So I love it.
Tyree has won national slam titles and acted in shows including Dexter and House. Check out the Multicultural Center website for information on the rest of the Black History Month events.
Cal Poly students will be presenting their activities at Family Science Day this Saturday. Some of the activities include touch tanks, hermit crabs, tide pool animals, and plankton. These activities are from the students' COSIA class. COSIA stands for Communicating Ocean Sciences to Informal Audiences. Family Science Day is taking place at the Avila Beach Sea Life Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Coming up next on Cptv, we have our weekend weather update.
Tyree, and you're watching Cal Poly Television.
Welcome back to Cptv.
Weather reporter Olivia De Janeiro has your Central Coast weather.
Olivia, what's going on? Last I checked, it was pouring rain outside. Is this going to keep up much longer?
Yeah, well, it is pouring rain outside our studio, and we just got word that it is actually hailing in the University Union right now. It's about 48 degrees outside, and we might see a chance of thunderstorms around 4 p.m. And I was going to tell you that there was a small chance of hail, but it is happening, and it already hailed in Santa Barbara this morning. We got a picture of someone whose hail was like that big. But the rain will probably calm down later today and leave cloudy skies in its place. And it won't be raining for long. We're going to see sunny skies later in the week. And while we enjoy this, sunny weather, the East Coast is facing Blizzard Nemo. We're going to take a look at a graphic of Nemo right now. You can see the blizzard moving in on the East Coast. And this is a shot from this morning. Blizzard warnings are in effect for much of the coastal sections of the Northeast, from New York City up to the Canadian border in Maine. Coastal flood warnings are also in effect on the East Coast. This is expected to be hit hardest this evening, and the blizzard will continue into tomorrow. Some states might see up to 3 feet of snow. Experts are saying this could be an historic February snowstorm. But while the East is getting hit really hard with that snow, we're only getting hit hard with rain today here across the Central Coast. Temperatures are mostly in the 50s. We're going to see about 47 degrees up north in Paso Robles, Tascadero area, 51-degree high here in San Luis Obispo, 52 around Arroyo Grande, and 55 down in Santa Barbara. We're going to look at our 5-day forecast. Like I said, we're going to have sunny skies later in this week. Today it is raining. Our high is 59 today, with a low of 37 tonight. Saturday and Sunday are going to bring highs near 56, 60, lows in the mid-30s, low 40s. Monday and Tuesday, again, sunny skies, highs in the low 60s and lows around 40 again. Well, that's it for your Central Coast weather update. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Olivia. I'm glad the weather is clearing up for this weekend so we can all get outside and enjoy things a little bit.
Get some vitamin D.
Yeah, there we go. Anyways, coming up next on Cptv, find out who Cal Poly recruited for football.
And who won the men's basketball game last night.
And find out which club team is playing UC Santa Barbara tomorrow. Welcome back to Cptv. We have our sports reporter, Lauren Bennett, with us today.
Hi, Lauren. So can you tell me who's going to play this weekend?
Yeah, first off, we have some exciting news about some new recruits for Cal Poly's football. So Cal Poly's football team added 12 new Mustangs to their roster. The announcement was made at the National Letter of Intent celebration Cal Poly hosted on Wednesday. The class of recruits includes Cameron Akins, a wide receiver from Pasadena, California. Akins caught 53 passes for 803 yards as a senior at Cathedral High School. Local recruit Jack Ferguson is another addition to the team. Ferguson played linebacker for San Luis Obispo High School. He was named Defensive Back of the Year twice in the Pac-7 League. Cal Poly's head coach Tim Walsh says that with 17 returning starters, this recruiting class was picked for future seasons.
So this year's class is more about the future maybe than the present, because I think we're good enough with the guys we have in our program to win a lot of football games next year in a very competitive schedule.
Cal Poly posted a 9-3 winning season last year and claimed a share in the Big Sky Conference championship in their first season in the league. The men's basketball team hosted University of the Pacific last night in Mott Gym. Junior forward Chris Eversley ended the night with his 7th double-double of the season with 21 points and 10 rebounds. Cal Poly is 6-5 in the Big West Conference, which makes them tied in 4th place. With 7 minutes left in the game, Eversley hit a 3-pointer, which gave Cal Poly a 1-point advantage. From there, Cal Poly went on a 17-point streak with Pacific only scoring 7. The final score was 67-62, and the basketball team takes on Davis and Mott Gym on Saturday at 7 p.m. And for the women's basketball, they beat University of the Pacific 62-59 in Stockton last night. The leading scorers were sophomore Ariana El Legado, who had 15 points, and senior Kayla Griffin had 10 points. The girls are playing away at UC Davis on Saturday. Cal Poly men's lacrosse team will be hosting their first game on Saturday against UC Santa Barbara. The men came in second at Nationals last year in South Carolina and are hoping to do the same this year. To start off the 2013 season, the Mustangs are taking on 0-1 Gauchos. Last year's match between the two teams ended in a 9-10 loss for Cal Poly in overtime. This year, the Mustangs are training extra hard to get their revenge.
They're a good team. They pass quickly, offense is fast, defense is playing a lot of press, getting out on them, and offensively, we're just trying to be crisp, do everything right, and just get our motion going.
The team is majority sophomores and juniors with 2 seniors and 3 graduate students. Come out to the upper turf soccer fields at 3 o'clock tomorrow to support your fellow Mustangs. So you guys should definitely try to go out this weekend and support our school.
Definitely, yeah. Yesterday I was walking by the gym and I heard all the cheering and for that basketball game. It was awesome. Anyways, guys, up next on Cptv, we will hear about some must-see dance performances.
And a new Facebook page is stirring up conversation on campus. Stay tuned to Cptv. Welcome back. Cptv reporter Armando Garcia is here with our entertainment news for this week.
Well, I hope you guys like dancing because we're going to have a lot of that going on this week.
Awesome.
So let's get straight to your Pollywood Minute. Cal Poly's Orches's dance company is performing their 43rd annual dance concert tonight and tomorrow after months of preparation. The company dancers named the show Suspension, and they aim to incorporate that theme into all of their 12 pieces. The repertoire includes modern, jazz, contemporary, and ballet.
Not a theater arts focused school, and it doesn't have a dance major, and the fact that we do have such a company like this is incredible.
In addition to the Cal Poly dance faculty, the dancers have been working with several guest and student choreographers. You can see Suspension at 8 p.m. tonight and tomorrow in Spanos Theater. Tickets can be purchased at the PAC website. Direct from Moscow, the Russian National Ballet Theater is performing the Cal Poly PAC. The company will perform the classical ballet Sleeping Beauty. Before the performance, former Cal Poly Dance Department head Moon Ja-Minser will give a pre-lecture. Student rush tickets are $10 and can be bought at the PAC ticket office 1 hour before the show with your Poly card. 8 champions from SLO County High Schools competed Wednesday night in the annual Poetry Out Loud competition. Poetry Out Loud is a national recitation scholarship contest. A panel of judges determined Jenna Clift, a Nipomo High School sophomore, as the winner.
I picture the surgeon reading the lines on Sonberg's face. Lines that would have made more sense if the poet had been, say, a tree growing in a wind orchard. Maybe he simply...
Cliff will be advancing to the state championship in Sacramento. The Mustang Band will be at the Mission tonight. A night at the Mission will feature several of Cal Poly's finest music ensembles. The Cal Poly music groups will perform traditional and contemporary pieces. The performance is a fundraiser for the Cal Poly Band program, whose members will travel to England, Ireland, and Scotland for 12 days in June. The show is at 8 p.m. at the Mission. Tickets are $9 for students and can be purchased at the PAC. Excuse us, we're having technical difficulties. We'll take you straight to the next story.
Okay, well that's it for our show today. Let's stay tuned to Cal Poly for your latest news by visiting us at mustangdaily.net/CPTV.
Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day, Cal Poly.
See you next week.